Hello, my name's Emma. I'm the owner and founder of Scarf Monkey. I wanted to make a video this morning to tell you a little bit about how Scarf Monkey came about, how it was that I went from being a teacher of 22 years to being someone who designed and printed t-shirts. I had been looking for clothes for my daughter for a long time, and I didn't really... I kept coming home empty-handed. I would go to the shops, not even specifically looking for clothes to her. It was just I was aware that the things that she was wearing were too small for her, and getting smaller and smaller. And so I'd pop into shops as I walked past, and I was just looking for a few things. And I realised that I was constantly coming home empty-handed. That I would go in and I would find t-shirts that had slogans on them, or they'd be full of things that she already had. Unicorns and princesses, lots and lots of princesses. And it wasn't I objected so much to those things. It was just I was looking for something different for her wardrobe. And I was looking for different colours. She had lots of things that were pale or pastel, or lots of pink. Mermaids were just starting to become fashionable. She had lots of those. And it wasn't so much that I was objecting to those, more that I couldn't find anything else. And it dawned on me that was a problem. It's interesting because when we ask her about it now, she says the problem with mermaids and unicorns is that they're not real. And all the animals you get on boys' t-shirts are real. And I thought that was really, really funny. Anyway, back to the point. So I had been looking, and once I'd realised that I was struggling to find something I wanted to buy, I began to ask myself why I was struggling and what was wrong with the things that I was looking at. And I was coming across slogans of things that I didn't like, or things that I felt were diminishing what girls were capable of. Things like, she leaves a little sparkle everywhere she goes. It's quite a common phrase, and in some ways a nice one. It suggests that somebody is adding happiness to the world, and that's a good thing. But it's a problem when it's the only thing that she's seen as adding to the world. And I also have a little boy who's younger than my daughter. And when I was looking for things for him, the t-shirt said the absolute opposite. They were talking about changing the world, or they were talking about being fierce or strong, talking about being awesome, being in charge, all kinds of things really. I just became more aware of the contrast. And at that time, I certainly wasn't thinking about doing anything about it. And then one day I was in a shop and I was looking over this whole rack of pink. There was nothing that wasn't pink. It was just types of pink and shades of pink, and everything was princesses or unicorns or girls are beautiful or girls are pretty, or and I thought, oh, and I began to genuinely worry that my daughter was gonna go around wearing tiny clothes for the rest of her life because I couldn't find anything I was prepared to spend money on. And then I picked up one particular t-shirt, and I won't say where it was, but I picked up one particular t-shirt, and it was pink, and it had pink sequins on it as well, and the pink sequins spelled out the words "good as gold." And for the first time I felt incredibly sad. It just seemed all wrong that this would be the defining thing that somebody think was worth their daughter telling everybody that they were good as gold, when the t-shirts next door for the boys were talking about being naughty or mischievous or loud. And I read this t-shirt, good of gold, and in my head I thought, over my cold dead body. And I put it down and I thought, oh, I could do better than that. And in that moment I had an epiphany, an actual epiphany, where I thought, I could do better than that. I really could do better than that. And then that evening, or perhaps the next day, I was reading something on the internet, and it was a quote from, well, it's a well-known quote, but it's not necessarily attributed definitely to anybody. Lots of people attribute it to Eleanor Roosevelt. Some people think she got it from somewhere else. But the quote from Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Well-behaved women seldom make history." And I thought that would make a much better t-shirt than Good as Gold. And so, and I think I decided in that moment that is what I would do, that I would create t-shirts or tops or hoodies designs for my daughter, very specifically for my daughter, which would say other things, not Good as Gold, but would inspire her or let her know that I had confidence in her abilities, in herself, that she could aspire to greatness, that she didn't just have to aspire to making other people happy, but that she could aspire to her own personal greatness if that's what she wanted. And I had already decided to stop teaching. I was just thinking about what I was going to do instead. And I went home and I said to my husband that I knew what I was going to do, that I was going to design t-shirts and that they would be for girls and that they would be empowering and that I would feature all of the things that you often see only on boys' t-shirts, and that I would sell those to all the women like me who wanted their daughters to have better messages, you know. And I believe very strongly that the things that you put on a child's clothing, if you're going to put words on a child's clothing, then those words explain who you think she is and what you think she is capable of. And so that is how Scarf Monkey came about. I'll see you again soon. Bye.